Hey, what's up gardening friends? How's everybody doing? I hope you're good. I'm great. Isn't this pretty? Yes, I have another wagon planter. This one's a little bit more frustrating. This one has more of a hammered appearance to it. Like I mentioned in the last video, they had these at Kirkland's and I went by and I picked myself up another one because I wanted one to put in the house. See, the only problem with this one is that the wagon handle's wonky. It doesn't stay up on its own. It's kind of annoying, but it still looks cute with or without the handle, and I can take this off. I might do that. I suppose that's kind of besides the point. Now, like I just said, this one is going in the house, which of course means I'm gonna fill it with houseplants. Just like with the other one, I sprayed this one down with some Rust-Oleum. I don't need to line this one with burlap like I did in the last wagon planter. Oh, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link that below and it'll have a card at the end of the video, the other wagon planter. This doesn't have any holes in the side like that other one did. It does have holes in the bottom, so drainage should be fine. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get planting up here. I have a pretty decent variety of different house plants here, pretty much just whatever I could find at Lowe's and Home Depot. I was hoping to get a few other things, but I wasn't seeing them anywhere. So just gonna make it work. And to start this off, I'm gonna put a croton in here. Look at how wonderfully that was rooted into its, what was that? It was in a 3-gallon pot. That's pretty pathetic. But it does kind of work out in my benefit because it frees up more space for other roots in this planter. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to stake that together when I'm done filling this up. And on each side of the croton, I'm putting in this alocasia. This is Alocasia amazonica. They call it poly. Again, not really very rooted into its pot. I think that may end up being a trend here. I've gone ahead and I found some stakes because I can't really work with this croton flopping all over the place. All right, and I have a couple of these Drixanias here. These are Limelights, Drixania deramensis, I believe. I'm putting these more towards the sides, and that's because by doing so, it's gonna add a lighter contrast between the alocasia behind it, and what I'm putting in the center is almost the exact same color. They'll really clash if they're right next to each other. And for a spiller, I'm using this neon pothos, which has really nice bright green foliage. And see what I was saying, these greens, they go together almost too well. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit more, I think. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out and replace them with these purple passion plants, Gaiara Aurentiatica. They're pretty in purple. Now with that purple there, I have something to go ahead and set these apart and add some contrast between the two. That's gonna look much better. All right, and there it is. Yes, I'm aware, very, very crowded. I'm gonna be pulling this apart right around Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, so I'm not really too concerned about it being overcrowded. Nothing in here is going to grow super vigorously in that amount of time, the exception of the pothos. If this gets a lot of water, then it might take off and grow like crazy. Whereas the croton and the other guys, they're a little bit more slow to go. Even these alocasias back here, this is Alocasia amazonica, they don't get really, really big. So I'm not really very worried about that. When these purple guys start to kind of do their thing a little bit more, that's gonna look a lot cooler. Those are the, what are they, the Gaiara? I can't say it, the purple passion plants. They have a really nice purple foliage to them. It's fuzzy, it's pretty, I like it. The more sun they get, the more that's going to be purple. I'm putting this in a window where it's going to get fairly direct light for about 4 hours. Left over, I still have this false Aurelia here and a ginger in the back, a Calathea. I was really hoping to find a way to make those work in there, but texture-wise and everything, it wasn't working. I tossed them in and it didn't look right. Not with these alocasias anyways. Had I gotten 2 gingers instead, then maybe that would have worked, but still the leaf shape is so similar to that of the croton. I don't know. I think this is fine. There are tons of different varieties of Drixanias and Cordylans to choose from. I just grabbed one that was green because I like green and purple for Halloween, which will be more obvious as this grows and that purple comes out and that contrast will be there. I did want it to have kind of a wild appearance to it, which was one of the reasons that I thought that this Aurelia would do well in here because it has kind of a swampy texture to it, but there's no way to make that work. I'll do something else with that. They're an excellent houseplant to have around either way, so I'm still happy to have it, and there are plenty of things I can do with it. Now, and not necessarily right now, but towards late September, I'm going to be embellishing these with these little pumpkins. I'll put them in there now so you can see them, and actually this might be coming out mid-September, so I'll do that now. And there it is. I thought these guys were super cute. They're a little like, what do you call it, punk rock, I don't know, whatever, what's it called? They have little color changing LEDs in their mouths, and they're just hitching a ride on the wagon, which is fine for that Halloween aesthetic. I mean, I think it looks a little better without them, but when it comes time to decorate, I like that. I think it's cute. And it's because of the Halloween aspect of it that I wanted to make sure that I had that purple and green in here. Because really, I just like how purple and green goes together for Halloween. And I think this has a good Halloween vibe to it. It's not quite as nice and formal as I might like something to be to go in the house. Halloween isn't exactly the most attractive holiday anyways. There's so many other things you could do with this too. You could put some hay bales in here. You could go to the craft store and get different picks and put like acorns and whatnot. really, there's a ton. Yes, I could have just like filled it up with mums or something like that. But first off, that would have made for a very short video, something like 1, 2, 3, done, mums. And it's actually still pretty early here. If I plant mums in here, they're not gonna have anything going on with them come mid to late October. Whereas with this setup, I can pull it apart when everything's done and have a whole bunch of houseplants left. This makes a little bit more sense to me as far as function goes. I actually had really wanted to put some of the big Rex begonias in here, but I couldn't find any, so I went with those alacajas instead. So I do think the begonias would have looked better. Like I said, there's a ton of different things you could do with this. This is just what I was able to pull off with what I could find in a pinch. This guy does not want to stand up. When it comes time to actually keep those in there, I'll work on that a little bit more. And it is entirely possible that when Halloween passes, I may even pull the purple stuff out. And like I'd mentioned, maybe start putting in some picks that have acorns and gourds and whatnot, just to make it a little bit more festive for Thanksgiving and fall in general. I think I mentioned before, pretty much everything in here has similar care requirements, but the pothos and the alacaja could take more water than pretty much everything else in here, but they'll be okay with just receiving medium water. When I say medium water, what I mean is that I will let this dry for at least 1 day in between watering. I can tell when it's dry, sticking my finger down in there. I want it to be the top inch of the soil to be fully dry before I water it again. Monthly fertilizing would be recommended. I use a potting mix that has some slow release or continuous release fertilizer in it. And since these are only gonna be in here for several weeks, I'm probably not gonna mess with fertilizing just since it's already in that potting mix. I'm not really too concerned about that. Just wanted to throw something together that I could have in my window and would have some color and have sort of a weird, creepy, exotic vibe to it. And yeah, I'd say that worked out. That Aurelia, if that had fit in here, that would have been pretty gross. I would have liked that. But hey, what can you do? All right, but that's gonna do it. Just more fun tossing things together. Comment down below, say hello. I love hearing from everybody. I have my social media linked below, down there in the description in the roots of the video. Follow me and I'll follow you back. It's a lot of fun looking at everybody's plant pictures and seeing what they have going on in their garden. Don't forget to leave the video a thumbs up. It helps a lot. I appreciate every single one of those. Subscribe as well. I upload them multiple times a week. I'm blazing through this. My battery's about to die. Okay, as always, everybody, most importantly, keep on growing. Bye-bye.